What philosophy or philosophies do I follow in my everyday life? Let's talk about this in today's video. Hello, good people of the internet. Welcome to another Ask a Human Not an AI episode with Chetan Naran. Today's question is another very interesting one. It's from Huda Ahmed, and the question is I'm a student of class 8. I love reading, but I don't get enough time to read. I hope that is always the case with you. You should always have more things to read than what you have time for. Just kidding. But I'm really proud that a student of class 8 is actually loving reading so much. Keep going. Sir, there are a lot of philosophies regarding life. What is your favorite one, and which one do you actually apply in your life? That was my question, and I would like to thank you for creating a platform like this. Thank you so much for appreciating that, Huda. This is actually feels good that you can appreciate that. I appreciate your appreciation. Coming up to your question, Huda, you asked me which is my favorite philosophy and which one do I apply in my day to day life. I will tell you that I do not have a favorite philosophy. I am not a follower of any single particular philosophy. And that is because I realized at some point in my journey that if you are a follower of a particular philosophy, if you absolutely love one particular philosophy, it is that philosophy eventually that ends up blocking you from seeing things the way they are, because your ego gets so identified with being a follower, being a worshipper of that philosophy, that you cannot see if there is anything wrong with it firstly, and you can also not see if there are things that are right outside of that philosophy. It happens with a lot of people. And therefore, if there's any philosophy that is really my favorite one, it is this, that you should not follow any particular philosophy, maybe including this one at times. But yes, I think this is it. This is what I would say, that I do not follow any particular philosophy. But for the purpose of this video, what I'll do is I'll tell you what I do follow. Instead of following any particular philosophy, what I love to do is I love to follow objective truths. I love to understand and think about life in terms of these objective truths, which are not belonging to any particular philosophy, any particular religion, any particular tradition, any particular nation for that matter. Objective truths are objectively true for all of us, irrespective of caste, creed, gender, background, species, etc. Objective truths are objectively true. And for the purpose of this video, let's talk about some of the objective truths that I like to follow in my everyday life. The first one in my list is something that I've talked about on this channel at least a gazillion times, and that is we see the world as we are, not as the world is. Everything that I say about a particular situation, a particular person, a particular nation, a particular YouTube channel, whatever, each of those things tells more about me than it does about that particular thing. We see the world as we are, not as the world is. Now, this is extremely important because you need to understand that everything that is going into your minds, everything that you're taking as an input from the outside world, is going via these filters that are installed in your mind. And therefore, you cannot see the world objectively unless you understand and observe your own biases, unless you understand and observe your own preconceived notions. Now, that is where I say it's not to say that there are no objective truths in this world. What I mean is, you get to those objective truths once you become aware of your own subjective realities. Once you overcome the attachment to, once you unlearn your attachment to these subjective notions. The second one that I would talk about in today's video is a quote I borrowed from Swami Vivekananda. He said, "Utility is not the test for truth." I absolutely love this quote. I'll repeat it once more. Utility is not the test for truth. Now, what this means is that almost always, when we are provided with some information, it's our limited self that approaches that information. And it, because that limited self, like we just talked about, it comes with its own preconceived notions. Even though something is true, it may seem that it is not useful. And therefore, we may disregard it to even not be true at times. Utility, or rather, apparent utility of something, is not really the test for something being true. And Swami Vivekananda actually goes on to say that if your life is arranged in such a manner that something which you know to be true is not useful for you, it is up to you to change your life, to change your life situation in a manner that the truths actually become useful too. Something to think about. Now, there are two more philosophies that I would talk about in this video. But before I go ahead, make sure that if you have not liked the video yet, make sure you like it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you have any such questions with regards to your own self or for your loved ones, and you want to ask me that question, make sure you check out the link down below in the description and hit me up with your questions. Now, let's get into it. The next life lesson is something which is applicable to every situation in your life, and that is everything comes in the form of sine waves. Everything has its ups and its downs, its crests and its troughs. No matter what is your current life situation, no matter how hard it is right now, it will get better. No matter how good your life situation is right now, you will see a downward phase. No matter how high your realizations are right now, there will come a point when your highest realizations just aren't visible to you. You will see a downward slope. And no matter how down in the dumps you are, you will rise up from it. It's bound to happen. Everything in your life happens in the form of sine waves. And to add a practical element to it, all you really need to do in your life is to understand that how you ride these waves, how you can be equanimous when life is taking you through these ups and downs, how you can be peaceful with the ups and the downs. The final philosophy that I would want to talk about today is the fact that we are all one. There is no distinction, there is no separation between us. All the different communities, all the different traditions and countries and individual selves that we act from, it's all an illusion. We are all one at root. Make sure you can act from that self as much as you can. I talked about this philosophy in some detail in season 1, episode 1 of the Unlearning Playground podcast. A small clip from that episode is appearing on your screen right now, and it's also available in the show notes below. Make sure you check it out because it is important. That's it for this video. I hope this gave you something to learn, something to think about, something to unlearn. That's about it. Until next time.